Today on 7th Circle Gaming, we're taking a break from our long-running series of second chances to look at a new game, or at least a game that is new to the Windows gaming community. It's been out on PlayStation for about a year. We're going to be looking at Stellar Blade. We are also making some changes to the format today, so let us know what you think of those in the comments section below. We are, however, going to start out, as we always do, with a bit of full disclosure, and you're welcome to pause the video and read through all of this if you like, but if reading isn't really your thing, just let the video run. Even from this gameplay footage, which is early in the game, it's obvious that the world of Stellar Blade is a post-apocalyptic one with some science fiction touches, as evidenced by the flying drone, and then later on in the gameplay footage, we are going to see a science fiction inspired sword. We also note that the user interface is centered around the corners of the screen, leaving the majority of the play space free to render the in-game world. At the lower left-hand corner, we have an inventory indicator, as well as a character health indicator. At the lower right-hand corner of the screen, we have the cooldown timers. At the center right-hand corner of the screen is the notifications bar, and although it isn't necessarily visible here, at the top left-hand corner is the currently selected mission indicator. At the top center of the screen is the compass. At least, that is where the compass will be displayed once it becomes available. And that's all from me, your humble narrator, for the moment. I'll let you watch the rest of this combat sequence without comment. As we saw earlier in the gameplay footage, through completing various actions in the game world, players accumulate experience points, and at a certain point, those experience points become a skill point. And skill points, as we might expect, are spent on acquiring additional skills in upgrade trees. This is one way that Stellar Blade provides players with player agency. For immersion, the game has earned a score of 9 out of 15. Despite the fact that this is primarily a visual medium, we do believe that how relatable and therefore immersive the in-game world is going to depend a lot on the player. For that reason, and all of our evaluation sessions, we do believe that the game is relying more so on challenge, player agency, statistics focus, and the story to create immersion. By default, and at the start of the game, Stellar Blade includes only 2 options for difficulty, with no additional options to fine-tune the difficulty. However, there are some settings that may inadvertently or indirectly impact the level of challenge presented by the game. Despite the fact that the game claims it can be engaged with utilizing either a mouse and keyboard or gamepad, from our evaluation sessions and looking at the above default key bindings, we would say that the gamepad is the preference, as it does make the keys more easily accessible on short notice. For difficulty, the game has earned a score of 3 out of 15. There are 2 items that we want to highlight here. The first is that the game provides players with a training room that they can utilize to become proficient with new skills that they've acquired. Second is, in story mode, the game provides a sort of combat assist, which does a number of things. First, it provides an on-screen prompt for the correct action to take in response to an enemy's special skill. Second, it also slows down the enemy's actions, providing players more time to make the correct input. This has the added function of training players in how to actually play the game, rather than simply making it less of a challenge. By default, the game has 2 modes of engaging with it. First is the story mode, and second is boss challenge mode. In this mode, players are given the ability, or the opportunity rather, to re-fight any boss character that they have previously defeated in order to unlock additional customizations. Within the world of the game, there are multiple activities to engage with and collectibles to locate, all of which provide some sort of bonus, whether it be additional customizations or in-game currency. At present, the game lacks any additional story-centric downloadable content. The only DLC available provides additional customizations or NPCs to interact with. For lasting appeal, Stellar Blade has earned a score of 3 out of 15. As previously stated, the game has two methods of engaging with it, the story mode and the boss challenge mode. Beyond that, the reasons to play through the game to story end or play through the game a second or even a third time are going to come down to a desire to 100% the game, an interest in the story, or an interest in the setting. And now, at long last, we come to the overall score. Overall, Stellar Blade has earned a score of 5 out of 15, which puts it at the top end of what we would consider to be a one-note game. That is to say, a game that does one thing particularly well. It's all the objectivity we can manage for this video, so if you would please get out the salt, and let's get subjective. Story is rather forgettable, no character really stands out, and it really doesn't reach out and grab the player. On the other hand, the game's world and setting are noticeable really only when they make reference to other franchises. For example, the major hub world of the game is called Zion, and the fast travel nodes are in the form of telephone booths. No mistaking where they got that idea from. If we were to assign to the game a subjective score, we would give the game an 8 out of 15, because the combat is actually really fun, and it's never too difficult, and it does have some interesting features like that training room and the combat assist mode, which we really liked. And there you go, an entire video about the game Stellar Blade that did not once mention the design of the player character. They said it couldn't be done, but, well, I think we've done it. And on that final highly subjective note, we do congratulate everyone who watched all the way to the end of the video. This is something of a change in the format for us, so if you like this change, do let us know in the comments section below. Likewise, if there is a game that you would very much like to see analyzed on the channel, do leave that in the comments section as well. Very much to everyone who likes, comments, and subscribes, and until the next video from 7th Circle Gaming, goodbye.